A generation has passed. The children who flew kites in 1999 now watch their own children do the same in 2026. Basant, banned for public safety, has finally returned. A generation has passed. The children who flew kites in 1999 now watch their own children do the same in 2026. Basant, the king of festivals, a cultural heartbeat for Punjab, was silenced for over 2 decades, a ghost haunting the Lahore skyline each spring. The ban was a painful necessity, a response to the tragic public safety crises that turned celebration into sorrow. But its absence left a void. Now, after years of debate and planning, it has returned. But its renaissance comes at a moment of unprecedented economic tension. Pakistan in 2026 is a nation walking a tightrope. It is navigating a post-IMF program landscape, a delicate phase where the training wheels of international bailouts are off. But the economy is still learning to ride on its own. Debt restructuring is a constant, looming conversation. Climate-driven agricultural crises have battered the country's breadbasket, impacting everything from food prices to export revenues. And a new force has entered the conversation, a digitally native generation, armed with data and skepticism, questioning every rupee spent. For them, nostalgia is a luxury the country cannot afford. The festival's return isn't just cultural, it's a real-time audit of Pakistan's economic maturity. Can a nation still healing from fiscal trauma celebrate without compromising its fragile recovery? The economics of celebration have transformed. In 1999, the cost was kites, string, and food. In 2026, the price tag is a complex ledger of 21st century necessities. This includes cybersecurity monitoring for millions of digital transactions, AI-powered crowd analytics to prevent stampedes, green energy solutions to satisfy global ESG investors, and blockchain-based vendor verification to ensure transparency. This is all before we even count the traditional cost security and medical services, now scaled to a mega-event level. Municipal estimates for Lahore's 2026 festival run into the multi-billions of rupees, a staggering sum, especially when measured against 2026's most urgent economic priorities, with Pakistan's debt-to-GDP ratio still hovering over a precarious 70% despite restructuring. Every expenditure faces intense scrutiny. For the cost of this single festival, the government could have funded thousands of tech scholarships or built dozens of climate-resilient water systems for struggling farmers. This is the brutal calculation facing policymakers, a choice between boosting national morale and investing in national resilience. To modern realities amplify the stakes, ubiquitous smartphone documentation and accelerating climate change. In 2026, every citizen is a journalist. Every safety lapse, every piece of mismanaged waste is instantly viral, creating reputational and tourism risks that can last for years. Meanwhile, the climate has changed the very air the kites fly in. February 2026, temperatures in Punjab are consistently higher than in 1999, increasing heatstroke risks and demanding a massive deployment of medical resources. The festival now competes for emergency services with climate-related health crises across the province. This isn't your grandparents' Basantics, a high-tech, high-risk high-scrutiny event in a nation where economic margins are raised. Basant's 2026 return, therefore, represents a profound test of Pakistan's next economy, an economy struggling to transition from debt dependency to innovation-driven growth. The festival could be a powerful showcase for this new vision. It could attract high-value tourism from the diaspora and the Gulf. It could launch a new export industry for artisan high-quality kites. It could pioneer carbon offset celebrations that align with global green financing trends, turning culture into a sustainable economic engine. Or, it could revert to being another spectacular, but ultimately unaffordable, drain on municipal budgets, reinforcing old patterns of fiscal indiscipline and proving the skeptics right. The kites flying in 2026 carry more than childhood nostalgia. They carry the weight of Pakistan's economic identity in the late 2020s, burdened by history, but navigating a new digital and climate reality. Whether Basant becomes an economic asset or a fiscal liability will depend not on sentiment but on 2026 grade planning, technology, and financial innovation. The skies are open again, but the ground beneath is more complex and more unforgiving than ever before. But its renaissance comes at a moment of unprecedented economic tension. Pakistan in 2026 is navigating a post-IMF program landscape with debt restructuring still underway, climate-driven agricultural crises, and a digitally native generation questioning every rupee spent. The festival's return as UNT, Just Cultural It, a real-time audit of Pakistan's economic maturity in the late 2020s. Can a nation still healing from economic trauma celebrate without compromising its recovery? The economics of celebration have transformed since 1999. In 2026, Basant's price tag includes cybersecurity monitoring for digital payment systems, AI-powered crowd analytics, green energy solutions for temporary infrastructure, and blockchain-based vendor verification, all atop traditional security and medical costs. Municipal estimates for Lahore's 2026 festival run into the multi-billions of rupees, a staggering sum when measured against 2026's economic priorities: climate adaptation, digital infrastructure, and education technology. With Pakistan's debt-to-GDP ratio still above 70% despite restructuring, every expenditure faces scrutiny not just from the IMF, but from global ESG investors and Gen Z taxpayers demanding transparency. To 2026 realities amplify the stakes: ubiquitous smartphone documentation and accelerating climate change. Every safety lapse is instantly viral, creating reputational and tourism risks. Meanwhile, February PN's temperatures in Punjab are a -3 °C higher than in Pesiki, increasing heatstroke risks and demanding additional medical resources. The festival now competes for emergency services with climate-related health crises. This isn't your grandparents' Basant, it's a high-tech, high-risk, high-scrutiny event in a nation where economic margins remain razor-thin. The 2026 question isn't can we celebrate, but can we afford the liability? Basant's 2026 return represents a profound test of Pakistan's next economy, one supposedly transitioning from debt dependency to innovation-driven growth. The festival could showcase this transition through managed tourism packages attracting Gulf and diaspora investment, export-quality artisan kite manufacturing, or carbon offset celebrations that align with global green financing trends. Or, it could revert to being another drain on municipal budgets, reinforcing old patterns. The kites flying in 2026 carry more than childhood nostalgia. They carry the weight of Pakistan's economic identity in the late 2020s, burdened by history, but navigating a new digital and climate reality. Whether Basant becomes an economic asset or a fiscal liability will depend not on sentiment, but on 2026 grade planning, technology, and financial innovation. The skies are open again, but the ground beneath is more complex than ever.